Evening, y'all. It's been hot, and I've been craving ice cream, but I really wanted to try to make my own ice cream. And this recipe, I asked AI, Google Gemini, or maybe it was Copilot, I don't remember. I asked AI, a robot, about a no churn ice cream that I could make in my food processor. And it spat out the recipe I'm about to tell you now, which is 4 ounces of cream cheese. You could do mascarpone, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't know where to get mascarpone. Like, is that something you can get at a regular grocery store? Because if so, I've never seen it. But you want 4 ounces of that. And then you want 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. You also want a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And that's it. That's the bare minimum. Now, you can add in whatever sweeteners you have. You could add in, at the end, whatever nuts you want. Peanut butter, chocolate. Just experiment. Do whatever you want. That's the great thing about cooking. So I'm going to give it a try, and I'm going to see how this turns out. So now, what the recipe was saying is that I need to put in my cream cheese, my salt, and then I forgot about vanilla. I think they call for like a teaspoon of vanilla. I'll put that in as I'm blending this. There we go. That did better than I thought. I was kind of nervous that this food processor was going to be too big and maybe really wouldn't do a very good job of blending this up. So now what it said to do is it wants me to pour in the heavy whipping cream and pulse it as I'm doing it. What I'm gonna have to do though, because I can tell, where's my scraper? The cream cheese there's still some cream cheese sticking to this side here. So we'll get this off. I might have put in a little too much vanilla, but it's whatever. It's whatever. Now, let me put this on here for now. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to experiment with making my own sort of ice cream, but also kind of just see if it's better to make my own this way than buy the keto ice cream that I would normally get from Walmart. Let's see, there's still some. should have got this scraped off, but we'll do it now. I did have my not my cottage cheese, my cream cheese. It was at least sitting out for it had to at least be 30 minutes. And I'm going to be honest, it was probably an hour. Because I was busy, I'll be honest, playing video games on my PC. So it's very likely it was out for at least an hour. Sound, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I like that sound. See about getting the rest of this. I know it's not much, but hey, we try not to make a waste. Well, we try not to waste anything. Not always successful. Okay, now I can use this to store it. And I think what I will do, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to just keep this vanilla. Well, I don't know. I really love Frosties. Chocolate Frosty. Well, the original Frosty. It was only ever chocolate. I love that. So, while I know I put in vanilla, there's also a part of me that wants to put in some chocolate protein powder I got. But then that kind of defeats the purpose I put the vanilla in, right? No? I don't know. What do you think? Though at the end of the day, it's my dessert and I can do whatever the heck I want. Things change, plans change, desires, wants. Yeah. I'll keep it like this for now. Well, I guess I wonder if I do it too much, do it. Sorry, that's gonna be loud. Oh, come on. Why should I even be careful with this? Ooh. Oh, wow. You know, that's really thickened up. Okay, I might put in that chocolate protein powder because I don't really taste the vanilla right now. And like I was saying earlier, this is my thing and I can do what I want. I'll be right back. I need to consult with the recipe real quick. Let's see. Smooth, thick and slightly. Freeze. Yeah, see, it said do it until it thickens slightly. And I think I've really thickened it up a lot. It gets quite thickened up. But I also... I know there's gonna be some stuff to the bottom here, underneath the blade. I wonder, I need to look into different blade attachments for this processor. Maybe there's a multi-blade one I can get. Because again, just a little bit of stuff, a little bit of food will get underneath this blade and not really get out. We'll do that. Again, this is my first time making it. It's an experiment. We just got to see how it pans out. And what I need to do, I then need to scoop this all in a separate container. It says shallow container. I think that's to help it kind of freeze up when you have it in the freezer, because the recipe says to, after you put it in the container, you want to put it in the freezer for 2 hours, and about every half an hour, you want to take it out and just kind of scrape the sides, mix it around a little bit to make sure that it's not freezing up and creating like ice particles. So again, I want to try to get everything off of here, because if this turns out to be really good, well, I'm going to want every single last drop of it. Why? Because I'm a glutton. I'm a dang glutton. I know that's a sin, but shoot, I ain't going to be on here, on this world forever. And not to get too religious, but I want to enjoy, when it comes to food, I want to enjoy all I can. Whoops. Excusez-moi. Okay, I'm done with that. Take this, clean off my fingies. Thankfully, I don't have much cleanup to do, because sometimes stuff likes to get down this thing here and onto there. It's like, oh man, I gotta do that cleaning. So, wow. Okay, look at that. That has solidified, or not solidified, thickened up quite well, I would say. I just had a thought, there's some of these, there's this one channel, I think it's Dave's cooking channel, and he does AI recipes. I don't want to say he fully does only keto or low carb, but that might be the case. Anyways, I just thought it would be funny if he somehow saw my video and made his own video based off of mine, if he hasn't already done something similar to this. See, and I think this part here is going to be some of that cream cheese that just quite didn't get, it kind of got trapped and didn't get fully mixtured, but hey, we use the tools we got, we figure it out along the way, and then next time we just think of how we might do it differently. Okay. Gentle, 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 gentle. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is spread this out and try to get it to completely fill so that there's no air pockets in the bottom on the sides here. And I'm going to try to get it a little even so that way one side's not, this way it's kind of, evening out when it's in the freezer and freezing up. I wonder what tool I could use to make this better, but anyways. There we go. Beautiful. Wow. Now this is bothering me, so let's get that down there. Okay, we'll call that good. Put a lid on it. Oh, actually, something I remembered is it did say to, if you put some parchment paper down, that could help with protecting this from any icicles / water building up on it. So I am going to do that. Oh, but affection. For the most part, I'll just get out my scissors. Let's turn it sideways. Just kind of follow the lines. Okay, so we'll just do that. We'll see how this works, how well it works. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. I may, let's see, there's just a little bit of air, like a little pocket there, some pockets there, but hopefully they won't affect this too much. So I'm going to put this in the freezer, come back in half an hour, mix it up, and do that for, well, the next 2 hours. I'll do that 4 times. And then hopefully this evening we'll have some delicious ice cream, fake ice cream, keto ice cream. I don't know. Later. All right. It's been 2 hours. This is solidified quite well. I'm very excited to give this a try. I need to get this in here without making too much of a mess. And maybe it would be better to not use this particular tool. Yeah. I've decided I am going to also, actually, I got a spoon over here I can use. I am going to add my chocolate protein powder to this because as I was just bringing it out every half an hour to make sure it didn't crystallize too much. I was getting some little tastes here and there. And I decided it would just be better to add some flavor to it with the chocolate protein powder. So we are going to do that. And we're going to see how this turns out. I don't know why I just didn't do this. I guess I was afraid of making too much of a mess. Yeah, I think I really should have double checked on how much that I wanted to keep this vanilla. I should have double checked on how much it said, because either I didn't put in enough or the recipe itself didn't call for enough, because that does not taste very vanilla-y. Oh, what am I doing? I already brought out my protein powder. It's right here. So yeah, let's get this in there. And then see how this goes. I did 2 scoops, which I think, if I remember right, is about 26 grams worth of protein. All right, let's do this. Scrape some of the... Actually, I'm going to put in even more protein powder because I'm wondering if... Honestly, I wonder if 2 scoops... I don't know if 2 scoops will be even enough with all of this. Sides. I will say it has fairly, if you could tell when I was putting it in, there was some decent firmness. Is that the right word I'm looking for? To some of it, but as you can tell, putting it here has really reliquefied it. So I think it's just one of those. It might be one of those things where maybe my freezer somehow isn't cold enough, or it just wasn't in there long enough. Maybe I should have put it in there longer over time before doing this final blend. But at least now I can put in the chocolate. And yeah, I'm gonna have to get the spoon in there. There's some of this on the sides. I'm wondering if some of the protein powder is also sticking on the sides of the centerpiece. But let's give her a taste. Oh yeah, I made the right decision with adding that chocolate protein in there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think for mixing wise, I think let's just do one more. We'll call that good. As you see, it's more milkshakey kind of right now, though not very thick. What I will do is let it freeze overnight. Probably let it freeze overnight, and then I'll probably, before I go to bed, just kind of get at the sides a little bit to make sure it doesn't freeze too much. Check it out in the morning, see how tasty it is. So we'll catch you later. Good morning, everyone. Yes, it is morning, and yes, I'm gonna be taste testing my ice cream. I don't know what I just did with my hands, but yeah, there we go. First things first, I don't know if this container is the most optimum container to put this in. Next time I make it, I'm probably gonna try some different containers. You know, if I got any empty mason jars, do that, or something else. I don't know. We'll see. But this has been sitting out for well over half an hour, and it's still pretty solid. So that's why I wonder if putting it in a different container would help with it thawing out. I mean, even the sides here took a while to thaw out, and you would think that these would be the quickest to unthaw. But once it does thaw, it looks like ice cream. It looks like it. So let's give this a try. Not bad. Do you ever have a feeling when you're watching people make, test out, and eat their foods, and they do that, or anything like that? Are they playing it up? Are they really just going to toss that stuff out later? I'm always curious. Because sometimes the things they make look good, and then sometimes their faces, I look at it and I'm thinking, you're lying to me. That doesn't look like a genuine face of, I love eating what I just made. I don't know. I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying sometimes I get that feeling. I will say, I think the recipe called for too little vanilla extract if you want it to be vanilla-y. So I'm glad I put in the chocolate protein powder. You know, while this doesn't have quite the texture that a Wendy's Frosty does, it's probably the best I'm going to be able to get. At least for now. You got to experiment more. Again, the only sugar I really put in this is from the protein powder itself. You can add in whatever sweeteners you want, you know, keto, low carb friendly sweeteners, real sugar. Do your thing. This is all basically what I'm doing. Is I'm making recipes that work for me, and then just trying to give ideas of what you can do for yourself. Because also, again, I know what's going into this. Cream cheese, heavy whipping cream. I mean, okay, I don't know exactly everything that's in the protein powder, but in general, I got to imagine this is a better for you than some of the ice creams that you could buy. I could be wrong. It's got a, let's see. It's got the ice crystals a little bit, but it's nothing bad. Chocolate taste. Very obviously fatty from the heavy whipping cream and the cream cheese. But I love it. I'm loving it. This will be my last because I haven't had breakfast yet, and I don't want to fill up my tummy on some of my nice cream before I have a real breakfast. Okay, well, we'll just do just a little more. This parchment paper is supposed to help with, oh my gosh, I can't think of the word. Freezer burn? There we go. It's supposed to help with that. So that's why I'm putting that in right now. All in all, with the amount of ingredients I put in, cost-wise, this is probably equal to about 2 pints of my favorite keto ice cream I would buy. And depending on where you go, those 2 pints would cost at least $11. But this cost about $4. So you're almost getting 3 times the amount of dessert you're getting the same amount of dessert for a third of the price. Yeah, so I would say it's worth making. Take care.